So if you've come to this video, you're probably here because you're looking at buying a Realme 7 5G, or you're just wanting to find out more information about this awesome little phone. Well, I have one right here. Did I just say little phone? It's not that little. So I was very lucky. I was able to get my Realme 7 5G at a very good price. End of financial year deals, guys. It's the time to get your phones. I got a bit of a saving. I think I paid around $330 for mine, which was a super special. At the moment, they're still around that $400, just over $400 mark. And today I want to just give you 5 reasons why I absolutely love this phone. And then I'm going to give you 3 reasons why I still don't use it as my daily. Okay, so as I'm talking to you about this phone, I'm going to compare it to my daily, which is a iPhone 11. Last year's flagship iPhone, and I love that phone. But this has been an absolutely amazing phone for this price. It's 2021. We've had a whole bunch of developments come through into the budget end, or the medium to budget end of the smartphone market. And this Realme 7, the screen on this is just amazing. But one other thing, you're not going to see it right now, but it is so fast. It is, it is a very fast screen, 120 Hertz. So comparing it to my iPhone 11, which I'm recording this video on right now, it has 60 Hertz. It's completely fine, like perfectly usable. But every time I switch to this phone, just how snappy that screen is amazing. And you know, if you've been a user of Android for a while, you might have gone into the developer options and turn off all the transitions to liven up your experience. Well, I did that when I first got it, because the last time I had an Android phone was about 3 years ago, I think, 2-3 years ago. I had an S8. About 3 years ago, I had an S8, and on the S8, I still noticed a whole bunch of lagging, slowing down, nowhere near like it used to be, but still just a small amount of lag and delay as I'm going through the menus. And so I would go into the developer options and straight away turn off all of the transitions. When I got back onto an Android phone, I did exactly the same thing. Got into the developer options and straight away off on all the transitions. And I actually found that the phone was just way too snappy, like over snappy. It was, in a way, it was just reacting to my input just way too quickly. So I actually ended up having to turn some of those transitions back on. And I've now got it to a point where I think it mirrors the iPhone 11 quite nicely. So it's very similar in the way that it behaves now. And that just required the transitions to be turned up a little bit again. So, but it's still 120, still just super fast. And it's, you're not going to see it, I don't think, of course. But yeah, so in terms of the screen, that's definitely number one. The second reason why this phone is actually better than my iPhone 11 is because of this fingerprint sensor right here in the side and the power button. So obviously, if I'm wanting to raise my phone, it still has raise to wake, which is exactly the same as on the iPhone. However, when I'm wearing my mask, raise to wake doesn't work. It doesn't work on this, and it doesn't work on my iPhone. So having that button on the side to the fingerprint sensor, which of course the Apples no longer have, having a fingerprint sensor is awesome. And I can override my lift to wake and my face unlock by having that unlock option there. So in that respect, this $400 phone outweighs, like, does better than a $1,000 phone. The third reason I would recommend any Android, but especially this Realme 7, is of course the file management system, which is going to be way better than any of the Apple ones, especially when it comes to MP3 music. So I store my own MP3s on this phone, and the way that I access it and I use it, and the music player that I'm using, it's amazing, super clean, super smooth, no problems whatsoever. Albums, folders, song names, searching for things, everything is super smooth. I also have the iPhone 11 with some music on it, and it is nowhere near the same experience. It gets very inconvenient when I try to transfer music from my computer to my iPhone via the iTunes app, And sometimes it does folders or albums, sometimes it doesn't. It's all over the place. It's not really clear why some of the music is going across in folders and some of it are albums, and why some of it is not. So Android, it's got that basic file system that we know and love, and it's going to make it easier to access your music and to find things and keep them in folders and to organize them. Number 4, of course, is the dash charger. So the Realme 7 comes with a super fast cable charger. It does not come with wireless, and it's been okay, Type-C, but it's not wireless. But yeah, the Type-C, the one that you get with the phone is a super, super fast charger. It takes up really quick, half an hour and it's almost full. So that is amazing. I'm really, really impressed with the charging capability that Realme have put into this phone. So very, very good. And lucky last, what I also like, having had Android phones in the past with a lot of bloatware and a lot of the user interfaces really taking over the whole experience. This is a very, very clean experience. So there's a couple of things on here that I really, really like. It has the pull down menu from the top of the screen, which is fully customizable. I know a lot of Android phones have this now, and it doesn't take that away. The Realme does not take that option away from you. So that's really good. Of course, you got widgets. I love having the weather widget, a clock weather widget on the front. Okay, so all right, so that's the 5 really awesome things about this phone. Let me tell you just one sort of something that you should consider, and that is that on this version of the Realme 7, you can kind of turn it into an iPhone experience in a way. So for work, I use an iPad and I have my iPhone, and I've gotten really used to swiping up from the bottom rather than using a left home and the apps button. So on this, you can also do exactly that. So you can create a very similar experience to how you would use your iPhone with the Realme 7. So you can swipe up from the bottom. You've got all the apps, left and right. You can go through those, no problem. And if you have been using Android and went to Apple, well, you'd know that the close all button that you see is non-existent on the iPhone, but here it is. It's still here, one button, and all of the apps disappear magically. When will this happen, Apple? When are you going to do this? So you might be wondering, Android, why aren't you using this awesome phone as your daily? And there are 3 reasons that I'm going to share with you that sort of stop me from doing that. The first one, and it's probably the main one, is it's really hard to get past the camera differences between the two. So the iPhone 11 has a really, really good camera, probably, up there within the top 10 sort of cameras you're going to buy in a smartphone at the moment, in terms of the top end of flagship phones and where we are at with the quality that you can create out of those. So the Realme is not bad. It's not bad. I would say sort of like an 8 out of 10, okay? 8 out of 10. And the big difference but is in low light. And of course, this is always the case with Android phones and with the cheaper end, the budget end of phones, is that the low light performance is going to suffer, and it really does. However, it does have night mode. It does do that special processing magic that it can do to bring to life a bit more light in the night shots. So it is very, very good in terms of, well, especially for the price. Got to keep in mind, $400. But if you've got access to a iPhone 11 or this in terms of camera usage, the iPhone is a lot nicer, a lot smoother, a lot better results, especially in terms of color reproduction, the way the photos turn out, the amount of noise, all that sort of stuff. It's really just a step above, obviously, with what you get here. But saying that, it's not too bad, but that's my preference. The second reason why I don't use this as my daily is because, like I said to you before, at work, I live in the Apple ecosystem most of the time. So it's sometimes super easy to just airdrop or to mirror up onto the Apple TV that I use, or I do a bit of presentations when I'm at work. So just super easy to quickly just mirror up onto the Apple TV. I really can't go past that experience, and to shift over to using this, it's not going to work as well. It's going to be clunky. obviously not going to be the same. Some of my work colleagues also have Apple's iPhones, and so therefore just airdropping things across is super easy. And I've done it many times now, which I would not have been able to do with just the Android. And the third and final reason why I do not use this as my daily is purely because when I connect it to my car in terms of using Apple CarPlay versus Android Auto, Apple CarPlay is a much nicer system to use than Android Auto. So Apple CarPlay, even Google Maps, I don't know what it is, but just the way that Android Auto displays everything, it's kind of very, I don't know, it doesn't look like it's been developed as well. It's just not as smooth looking. The way that the UI is, it's not quite the same. It's not obviously not as polished. Apple CarPlay, very polished. You know what I'm talking about. The way that the icons are even presented, the way that you scroll through the menus. I prefer the way Apple Maps actually displays when I'm doing navigation. It's a shame it's not as good as Google Maps. But even Google Maps, when I stream that up onto the infotainment system, it is a lot cleaner and nicer than what I get out of the Android. So if you live in Australia right now and you don't want to go to the iPhone ecosystem or the Apple ecosystem, and you don't want to spend flagship money, okay, so all your Samsungs, well, actually not all of the Samsungs, there are some cheaper Samsungs around that you might be considering, but your flagships, you don't want to spend that sort of money, you don't want Apple, then this is probably going to be one of your best bets right now. It's 2021, and I am amazed at how far these companies have come. Realme is a subsidiary sort of Oppo, so Oppo and Realme work together, but we've had a sort of a indifferent experience with our Oppo in the last 2 years that we've owned. But this is just amazing. So look, if you're looking to buy one, I can highly recommend them. Excellent all-round phone. You're not going to go wrong. You're going to love the display. It still takes awesome photos in the daytime. If you don't need that Apple ecosystem, this is definitely going to be on your radar to purchase. But that's it, everybody. Sort of a long-winded way of getting to recommending this phone to you, but yeah, thank you for watching all the way. So if you have any questions or you'd like to ask me anything, then please do in the comments below. I'd really appreciate if you subscribed. We've got the subscribe button somewhere underneath the screen here. Yeah, so lots of videos still coming. I'm still doing some content outside of bikes and cars, and this is obviously one of them. But yeah, I'd really appreciate if you subscribed, and see you in the next video. Bye.